Welcome to Patent Podcast with noted inventor and patent attorney Chris Maiorana. Each week, Chris answers your questions on patents, trademarks, and inventions. Now, here's Chris Maiorana.
Should I market my invention while my patent application is pending?
That's a question we get asked a lot. And when we get new clients and when we have our initial interviews with them, we like to explain a lot of how this works with the patent system. It's not the easiest way to make money. We like to tell clients that up front. So if you're using your last life savings for this, it's probably not the best idea. But what I tell people a lot of times is it's going to use your own skills to the point that it's a better chance than winning the lottery, which is a long shot. It's all luck on the lottery. So your skills get used in your invention, in the marketing. But if you don't have the gumption to market your patent and probably do work on it on a daily basis, maybe take your weekends off. But if you're not going to seriously work on it on a daily basis, you're almost guaranteed to not be successful. So when someone says, should I just wait until I get my patent to start working on marketing? I say, no way. You got to get out there and market this thing. You want to use that time to your advantage. So if you gave it a good push before the patent office sends out that first office action, we talked about the time frame on that in another interview where they target the 14 months, but sometimes it's even a bit longer. So that window, we want to use that. And if you got nowhere on it, it's a possibility. I mean, we like to hear clients that are successful and have interest, but say you got nowhere at it and every door was closed, that gives you some business information that you can use that, maybe I just don't want to spend more money on this patent application. Well, we're not in the business necessarily of saying, hey, abandon all your cases, but, if it looks like it's not going to be fruitful, you want to balance that in, and maybe you want to save the rest of the money.
And this is kind of the other side of the coin here. Let's say I market it, and I do a pretty good job marketing it, but then I don't get the patent to issue. What then?
I mean, it's a concern for sure, but that is not my biggest concern, because if you're going to be successful at marketing, it probably has some unique aspects to it that people are interested in. And you're not really at any more risk than you had if you waited on getting your patent to issue. Because, again, getting your own patent to issue doesn't protect you against infringing on other people's rights. Your patent is a right to exclude. So I say just get out there and market. And in some cases, that actually helps us to traverse an obviousness rejection. One of the criteria is that commercial success can be shown at the patent office to help with that. They're not as keen about commercial success as they probably should be, but it's just another factor to weigh in there to help out in pursuing your patent application. Then another thing that's interesting is when people do try to market things and they mention they have a patent. I've seen this a lot where a company is just not really set up for unsolicited offers for sale like that. So they don't really know what to do with it. So some sophisticated companies might put one person in charge of that and just send out rejection letter after rejection letter. And they don't necessarily talk with other people at the company. And the idea is they don't want to be accused of this they stole my invention routine. I mean, that's word on the street. That happens all the time if you ask individual inventors. I had this idea and someone stole it, where for how many times I've heard that story, it just can't be supported by facts. So, one joke I have is maybe people doze off while they're watching TV sometimes and think they invented it. But even so, you get those letters that reject, and then some people read them as, they're just waiting for me to get my patent and they'll buy it. They're not really saying that at all. They're saying, if you get a patent, let us know. Because they want to know if they're infringing on you so they can take countermeasures against you. They're not making a deal ahead of time like that from the letters that I've seen.
Should I get a right to use opinion?
Possibly. It's always a good idea to discuss issues that come up with us. A right to use is sometimes called a freedom to operate opinion. And that's where we would take a look at the art that's out there and analyze your downside against potential infringement. So they are a good thing to at least consider, so you keep your options open. It's never really a good idea to just bury your head in the sand on these things. So the more clients talk with us and bring these issues up, the better.
Who does those opinions?
Oh, we do. We do patentability opinions, we do non-infringement opinions, we do freedom to operate opinions. So we had one non-infringement opinion we did for a client that we did quite well for them. So instead of getting stuck in a big litigation, they used the analysis from our non-infringement opinion to negotiate out of the issue pretty much completely. So that saved the client potentially millions of dollars. So a freedom to operate would give you a heads up on that ahead of time. And there are certain issues that might come up, like someone else might not have even paid their maintenance fees. So what looks like an important patent that could hurt you is no longer valid. Or it could be as simple as maybe it is someone that's in the field that you've heard of that instead of fighting, you might want to join forces and collaborate. So that knowledge could be a good thing, or maybe it's knowledge that I just need to stay away from these people because they're bad news, and I don't want to be involved in this. But if you go in blind, it's not necessarily the best thing, because then you're taking on risk that you don't know you had, which I'm not a big fan of that. So the more knowledge you have, the better.
Thank you for listening to Patent Podcast with noted inventor and patent attorney Chris Maiorana. Join us next time as Chris answers your questions on patents, trademarks, and inventions.